I'm continuing to be transparent.
Except when we went from friends to this. Darling, you're the one I want. I shiny things, but I'd marry you with paper rings. That's right. Darling, I hate accidents, except when we went from friends to this. That's right. Darling, you're the one I want.
Konnichiwa, yokoso, minasan. Welcome to Freedom Friday. I'm Dr. Nikiba Jackson, and thank you for joining me. I'm a confident, bold, inspiring, worthy leader. As I think, so shall I be. So, if you've been watching my Freedom Fridays for the past couple of weeks, as I come back, I've been talking about transparency. Part one about coming back. Part two is just continuing to talk about my journey and what's going on with me. So, I'll continue to talk about as I'm being transparent, because that's what Freedom Fridays is all about for me, just sharing with you what's going on with me and the freedom to just focus on the things that's working for me. So this week, I want to talk about just a continuation on what's been working and what am I learning in this week. So if you know, I told you guys that found out that I had a fracture, and the doctor pretty much told me I need to take some time to let my foot heal, stay off it as much, no walking, specifically said no exercising, and told me to continue the practice and the care that I had. So, in the realm of that, I had made an appointment. I already had an appointment to see my acupuncturist, and then there was some things that was happening where they were telling me, well, we need to see the X-ray to do this and all this. So end up not being able to get the X-ray. However, not in time. However, I knew I needed to continue to get my treatment. So they did give me a notice to say I had the cuboid fracture. And so one of the things that I know is, like, people are saying, well, you can't walk, you shouldn't walk, you need to stay off your foot as much as possible, right? And for me, everything is possible 100% of the time. So whereas I was told you can't work out and no longer walking, I'm like, how am I gonna get to the bathroom, right? I really gotta walk to get there. And then one of the things that I was telling people, I said, yeah, but if I sit too long, my foot hurts. If I walk too much, my foot hurts. So there has to be a balancing act for me that I get to work on. And honestly, I didn't want to make excuses for doing certain things and not doing certain things. So what I did was look for things that I could do, look for ways that my body could be healed. And those were the things that I focused on. If it didn't align with the healing process, I allowed myself to not focus on it. I allowed myself to focus on parts of the healing process for myself. So for me, one of the things that I do like to work out, I had ordered, so I had like this fitness tracker. It broke, go figure. Nope, didn't break it. I lost it this time. So end up getting a new fitness tracker. However, usually I'm like, oh, I gotta track everything. And so this time, instead of focusing on what I didn't have, I focused on what I did have. I had a TV, I had the internet, I have weights, I have yoga mats, I have pretty much everything I need at my house to be able to start doing what I can do for myself. So what I did start to do was work on building up my arm strength. And then I also did some more work, like more work on the floor, did more Pilates, just start focusing on things that allows me to strengthen and build my muscles. So whereas they said I can't work out, I feel like sometimes people put us all in this all or nothing category. You either can do it all or you can do none of it. And so for me, because I'm focusing on ways that I'm healing, I get to find ways that allows me to do the things that I want. It might not look exactly the way that I initially imagined it, but it's going to allow me to continue to do what I need to do for myself. So for me, I like how I feel when I am doing the work for myself. So I like to, you know, I like to see the progress. I like to feel the progress. So for me, it's like my muscles, especially in my arms, just waiting for me to get back to it because I was doing boxing for a while. And because there's so much movement like on the floor, and I am attempting to stabilize my foot, I allowed myself to um, do other things to work out my arms, right? And then also in terms of cardio, I allowed myself to do other things that allowed me to get some level of cardio in that doesn't add stress to my foot. So with that said, this week, I really took the time to focus on things that I wanted to happen for myself, and I found ways to support myself. And then in the realm of eating, you do get to eat every day, right? However, instead of focusing on, oh, you can't eat that, you shouldn't eat that, I started looking more at what I can eat, what I should eat, what's going to work on building my bones that allows me the opportunity to heal myself. So what I want to share is like sometimes we get so focused on what we can't do, what we shouldn't do, and taking an inventory on the list of the shouldn'ts that we forget that there's so much that we can do. Case in point, my daughter, she speaks Japanese. I feel like she speaks it very well. She understands Japanese. And for her, because she doesn't understand all the words, she's like, I'm not good at it. And I said, well, I don't know all the English words, right? Does that mean I can't speak English? So when you start focusing on the things that you know, the things that you're good at, and start building those things up, it allows you to get stronger, and it supports you in other ways that you need to be supported. So whereas when I fell, it was a sign of my body being weak in a certain area, right? And I can go back and say, well, hey, if I had done more of this type of work, I would have been able to balance myself better. So I would have allowed myself to hold myself up so I would not have fell and my foot wouldn't have been broken, right? However, because I was focused on the wrong things at the time, or didn't have a real focus, I allowed myself to be out of alignment and my body wasn't able to take care of myself. So now I get to be more intentional about what I'm focusing on, about building myself up. So it works with your body, mind, and spirit. So focus on the things. So what I want to share, we have a lot of things that we're good at. We have some things that we are not as good at. So we get to find a way to balance it, right? If it brings you joy, you should continue to focus on it, right? Build up those skills that you currently have, that you know you have, that's working for you, because there's going to be a point in your life where you're going to need to use those skills. And instead of focusing on skills that you might not be as good at or that you don't have, you've taken time to effectively hone in on the craft that you have, and that'll make room for you to be able to do other things as well. Give yourself time, give yourself grace, give yourself the space to be a human being, and just learn how to focus on the things that's working for you. And when you work on the things that's working for you, I feel like it's a sign from God, it's a sign from the universe telling you, hey, these are the things that you get to get good at, because our gifts and our talents are being used to help uplift and rebuild other people as well. And so when we're focusing on the things that we're good at and we're using it to help ourselves and for others, you'll start seeing things around you expanding. Because for me, months before then, before I fell again. I fell back, and I did this whole big song and dance where I was falling back, but I had been doing something, and so it allowed me to hold myself where I didn't fall. Like I caught myself, right? Now, my knee twisted, but I didn't fall. And so I want to say, I had gotten surgery, and I was like, I don't want to get another surgery, right? And so I really wasn't taking the time to strengthen myself and do things that I needed to do. So there's no looking back on what happened to feel sorry for myself, which is what I had done in the beginning. But it's taking a pause to look at what happened and to be able to say, okay, that happened. Why did it happen for me? What do I get to focus on? And as I focus on that, I'm going to get stronger in areas that I didn't initially was trying to get stronger, or it teaches me to hone in on those areas that I get stronger at, So my feet have been holding my weight for years, right? And apparently I needed to take some time to focus on other areas of my body that get to take some of the pressure off of my feet. So with that said, think about ways that you can take the pressure off some areas that you're stressing yourself out in, and see what ways can you balance it and what ways can you improve on those areas. And I feel like you'll get what you need. So thank you for watching this Freedom Friday. I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy your week to come. Thank you.